ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not to be made fun of. She is not a moron. She is not to be mocked or derided in any way. She's a very serious political candidate with a very serious ideology called democratic socialism. Democratic socialism, where we simply will vote for everything we need. We don't need elected representatives, I guess, but I'm not sure if Ms. Ocasio-Cortez is going to get out of office as soon as she's accomplished her democratic socialism. I'm not sure how that works. If you completely change the government as we know it, if you just relinquish power, that's what we have seen throughout the centuries, is people, when they get power, they just relinquish it. They just give up. I've got the perfect government in place. I've got all this power. I completely rule over you, and I'm just going to give it up for the people. The people. I give it back to you, the people. That's what happens. That's what happens. We saw it in the movies, so that's what happens. We know that's what's going to happen when we give complete, full control, and you just vote online, like Mr. Zuckerberg says. Online. We just vote online on everything. We just vote our troubles away is what we do. And this will not be abused when it for sure will happen, because Miss Ocasio-Cortez is a rising star. We are told she is a rising star, an articulate rising star with the vision, really the vision to lead us into the next age. We're really going to evolve. We're going to evolve into democratic socialism. It's an evolution, you see. It is not a degradation, not a breakdown completely of society that we've built over hundreds of years of this great experiment. It is an evolution into not having people be responsible for anything, and we vote online on everything. So we currently have the problem of college. It is too expensive. Clearly it's too expensive. So I guess we're not going to vote on that one. We're just going to make it free. The democratic socialism, some things you vote on, some things we decide for you, because we know what is better. I'm not sure how that works, but it's going to happen. We're going to decree that college is free, and trade schools too, because there's going to be so many people going to trade schools when you can have an $80,000 education for free. And I'm sure people will not overpromise things when you can get a 4-year college. I'm sure people are going to want to do the trade school when you have that dangling carrot out there for a 4-year degree and all of the riches that come with it. You're going to learn so much. I'm sure that's going to happen. So that's going to be decreed. What is going to be voted on, however, are very important issues. For example, gay marriage. We've seen that the people want gay marriage. We've seen it in California. It was put to a vote. Okay, well, never mind that. We are going to vote on illegal immigration. It's a very key issue. We've seen what people want. We're going to wait. Maybe we won't vote on that one either. For the important things, we will decide for you. We will decide the funding mechanism for high school and college. We will decide that, because that's why the inner city high schools are failing. It is because of the funding mechanism. See, as a millennial, she has the vision to see and to see why things are the way they are. He has the vision and vast life experience as a millennial. for wanting free things. And she will tell you why free things are good. So when you get free high school, all high schools will cost $35,000 per pupil per year, then everything will be equal. Because what greater resource do we have than our youth? What we don't need parents. We don't need parents to be active in their community. We don't need parents to make sure their kids do their homework or become involved in schools and volunteer their time. We don't need that garbage. We just need economic equality for the schools. Because when you make something free, that means the cost is zero. There is no cost to it. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that how it's going to work? The visionary Octavio Cortez has given us this path to the future, which we will use, and we will see that when everything is free, millennials are our future. They see that when you get free stuff, it is automatically better. I mean, just look at how wonderful our government school system has served us over the years. I mean, 100 years ago, sure, you could go to school for up to the 8th grade in a little townhouse, and, you didn't have computers, of course, but, maybe you learned about great novels and literature, and maybe you learned calculus in just 8 years, but how efficient is that? That's nonsense. What we need is free. You see, it wasn't free. Universal free middle school. That's what we finally came up with. We came up with universal free high school. Not until the 50s and 60s. Then everything was great. And we didn't totally waste kids' time teaching them about the Holocaust. And I would never, ever deny the Holocaust. Ever. Would never do such a thing. I believe every word of it. I believe we should believe, much like #MeToo, we should believe every word of every woman that ever spoke in history. We believe everything. We believe everything about the Holocaust. So never again will we have the masturbation machines. Never again will we have Zyklon B. Never again will we have fake chimneys constructed in Auschwitz. Never again will we have gas chambers with wooden doors with holes in them. Never again will we have such things. And this is what we learn in our free high school and our free college. We'll just make 4 years of it extended high school for people is what we'll do, where they will just learn more in depth about the Holocaust and why we should believe everything. And never again, we believe everything a woman says, no matter what, because that's what we have to do, because that's only fair. To do any otherwise would be sexist, misogynist, and you have to believe it. So there you go. Now, back to voting on everything. Now, obviously, the certain things we will decree. We will decree free college. We will decree free university, extended high school is what we'll call it. Why not 5-6 years? What the hell? Why don't we just have free graduate school, free doctorates? Why don't we just make everybody a doctor? Then we will have true equality, true equality. And we will vote to end the oppression from the evil white people. Because when we import tens of millions of illegal immigrants from these oppressed countries because they are asylum seekers And we believe everything they say, too. We believe everything. Otherwise, you're a racist. So you must believe every story you hear from the poor immigrants. And they're not illegal immigrants. They're undocumented peoples of color, of oppressed things. That's what they are. Undocumented economic units. The undocumented economic activity centers. The undocumented activity centers are the key to prosperity in the next century and in the current year. This is the vision we see from Octavio Cortez. The vision that the undocumented economic centers of activity will provide us into the future, and these people will be the ones that are easily gaslit and that are easily controlled, so they will vote how they should. They aren't going to think for themselves. They aren't going to put, liberty in front of their own personal needs. They're not going to do that. They're going to do what's best for their greedy ass selves. So that's what they'll want. So when it comes time to make the key votes, after we've been in power, we've seized all the weapons, of course. By the way, that's another thing we'll probably not vote on. We probably won't vote on gun confiscation. We'll probably just decree that one as well. That I don't think we'll pull out that one to a vote. But the important things we'll vote on. We'll vote on whether or not to confiscate the money from the evil white people. That's what we'll do. And we'll redistribute it. You got it? This is profound. We will redistribute the money from the evil white men to the oppressed brown people of color, of economic activity. So we will just have these people, these wonderful, undocumented economic centers of activity, vote for their own salaries. Isn't that wonderful? And isn't it fair, really? It's just fair. It's just the way things should be. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to know. Undocumented center of economic activity, Uber alles.